What up? What up? What up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back once again. As always, you know how we got to start this. I am your guy, K Marvel.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy QS.
Striker's Dragoon.
And as always, we are your furore corners, right? Corners.
Get 4 quarters of commentary. Yeah. $1.
What's something? I don't know. 4 quarters of commentary. I don't know. What something with four shit. Ladies and gentlemen, today is insane. Let's just leave it at that. There is a lot going on. We have 3 major shows coming up. Jesus, I don't even know. As a matter of fact, I do know where we're starting. Let's get to it. WWE Clash at the Castle happening Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jesus. There's a lot going on, and let's just jump into these matches. Let's start off with the 6-man tag. Wait, is it a 6-man tag? No, it's a regular tag match with Edge and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day, which is Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Gents, story. We'll keep this short since we got a lot going on. Storyline. How's it been going so far? Who you think is going to win the match?
Who do you think's gonna win?
I think it's the Judgment Day. Judgment Day is gonna win. And long story short, Judgment Day is gonna win. This is probably going to be the time that Dominic finally does turn on them. He's going to cost his father and Edge the match. And I think that's what's going to push the Judgment Day in a different direction. It's going to probably have them. They've been pretty good just with the 3 of them between Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, and Finn Balor. They've been doing phenomenal. I get promo work wise and just backstage segments. They've been doing their thing, but I think them might, if they somehow get Dominic to cross over, that we'll probably be able to finally see Dominic in a very more different light, and he's actually able to get trained even more than what he's unfortunately been trying to do under his father. I guess to say this would probably get him out of his father's shadow completely.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I agree. I think it's Judgment Day by. I think they stretch it out a little bit more. Inadvertent interference from Dominic Mysterio's mullet.
Yeah,
Mother?
His mullet.
Oh, mullet.
Not his mother. His mullet. Although if they have Angie turn too, I'm all for it. Have his whole family turn on him. Why not? I'd watch.
I can't.
You're holding your son back from being great.
Exactly. All he's ever cared about is that mask.
That's very true.
So that's the type of energy that I'm there for.
Of course.
Yes, good laugh.
Yes.
But I agree as well. I think that should be, or it might be, a consensus. But my way of them losing is Edge is getting pinned, and it's definitely Dom's fault. I think at some point in the match, he's going to get angry, he's going to get frustrated, and something with Edge definitely triggers him, and he costs him the match. It may be inadvertent, but it's definitely leading to that turn. We don't know when that's going to happen. Could happen next week, but we'll see.
Let's jump to the next match. You have the Intercontinental Championship, which is Gunther versus Sheamus.
That's going to be a knockdown, drag-out affair. The late great Gorilla Monsoon. I say Gunther in a hard-hitting matchup. I can't wait to see that. That's a match I'm actually looking forward to.
Yeah, I think Gunther. He's gonna end up taking the match. This is probably gonna I think this is what's gonna be the match stealer. It just looks like this one is gonna be an anticipated one. they're going to tear it down, and it's going to actually end up making Gunther even look stronger.
Yes.
It's one of the hardest hitters in the E right now, and Sheamus. I don't think you can argue that Sheamus has not had a bad match. He's been in a very, very long time. Maybe in his early years, but I have not seen a bad Sheamus match in a very long time. So this match is going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be hard hitting, but it's going to be safe. And there's no better worker in a hard hitting match to face than the Sheamus. So I don't know who wins, honestly. I can't choose. Personally, I say give it to Sheamus and have Gunther completely go on a rampage and get his title back. Or you just have Gunther go over in a fucking amazing match. So either which way is fine for me.
Cool. Matt Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins.
I think the winner is Matt Riddle because he got his name back.
Very much so.
But I honestly think he's going to win the match because he's been getting beat up for quite some time by Seth Rollins.
Verbally, physically.
Yeah. This feud picked up. It picked up. Man. After this past Monday, this feud really picked up into being taken serious. It's like, okay, like you can actually believe, like you have a part, you could try to partially believe that these two really legit hate each other, and you can't take nothing away from it. Like, you know, the story's there, it matches, it can work. They're both two good workers. I'd want to give it to Riddle and say just finally Riddle actually gets a win. But this also could go into Seth's favor, and Seth could finally really get a real good win at a pay-per-view as well. So
at this point they both need it.
Yeah.
But Seth doesn't necessarily need it. I think
he doesn't
needs it more than Seth does. But I think either way, this feud isn't going to be over. At Clash at the Castle. Next match. Wait, did everybody give their?
Stretch, y'all can hear me still, right?
I said Riddle.
Yeah, go ahead.
Riddle, yeah. I think they've kept him off TV long enough that, you know, he needs to get a big win, and Seth isn't gonna, you know, nothing's gonna harm Seth with the win or a loss. So,
all right, cool. We got the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Damage Control, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. First and foremost, I'm gonna predict the new entrants. For the three of them, I think it's the perfect time to do it. But honestly, I think Bayley, Dakota, and Io are gonna get the win. Think it makes sense?
Can see that. Who takes a pin though?
Alexa or Asuka. Or unless you want to build the Raw Women's title,
I can see Bayley pinning.
You have Bayley pinning Bianca. Yeah,
that's where I'm going with it. That's what I think is going to happen. I think that Bayley pins the champion, and we get into a singles feud between the two.
I think Bayley has the possibility of definitely beating Bianca for the title.
I feel that it's going to be a little bit of a swerve because I feel that there's going to be one partial part where Alexa is probably going to turn and cost them try to cost them the match. So it could be that, you know, Damage Control just gets that win off of that. But in turn, I think it also, it may turn into a beatdown after. But I think this is where we'll finally get back the alleged surprise return to save Asuka and Bianca Belair. That's just what I think.
let's go to the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which is the champion Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler.
Shayna.
I don't think they're gonna give it. I don't think they're gonna have Liv drop it yet.
I think Shayna's
deserves
perfect.
it.
I think Shayna's perfect to win it.
Yeah.
Let Liv win it back at WrestleMania.
I think the problem is I think they've kind of bunched themselves into a corner with Liv, and just the way that Liv's been moving, unfortunately, it just makes her coming off like a heel instead of a face champ. It's just not her face run just isn't believable. So I think it's just safe to say it's like just take the belt off her and just have her try to chase for it again as time progresses, and then she's able to really get back that moment. If you want to do that, or just if you want to keep a champ, she's gonna have to end up being a heel.
Right. Stretch.
I agree with QS's sentiment. Harley basically said everything I was going to say. Yeah,
cool.
I agree wholeheartedly there.
And the last match on the card is the undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, which is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus the Scottish Psychopath Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
God damn, if we get Broken Dreams on Saturday, that man is winning that title in Cardiff.
I think it would be dope if he's supposed to be having, they keep saying he's supposed to have the longest entrance out of everybody.
As he should.
Makes sense.
So it would, I mean, it's
he's home.
He is home. Like,
I mean, he ain't the only one.
He's not home, but it's just like, but he is still in the home terrain. So it does make sense. It would be cool. It would be cool for him to come out of Broken Dreams instead of coming out to or
Gallantry.
if not, I want it has to be a mixture of Broken Dreams and Gallantry together. Like they have to be.
I think they could start with Gallantry and then end up with Broken.
No,
vice versa.
Yeah, vice versa. It has to be vice versa. Yeah, it got to be vice versa because that's the way because it transitions. You got to transition because it makes it come from.
You gotta go old to new.
From old to new, exactly. You can't just have it be like, oh, Gallantry and then go into Broken Dreams. It makes it look like it's gonna make it look stupid. Like production wise, you got to tie it in right. I think it'll be dope. He's gonna have a slow walk. Roman, it looks like he's gonna be by himself anyways. He's not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna. Obviously, Heyman's still out. Usos can't go. They can't go. One of the Usos can't. They can't go together. They can't go. Obviously, Jay is Jimmy because of other prior stuff outside of here. He can't be able to be there. But so it's just gonna be it's a 1-on-1. This will probably it's either gonna one or two things is gonna happen. Either Drew's gonna end up winning his belt, and that's all she wrote. And the era of the Tribal Chief is over, or this is really gonna solidify Roman that he can actually beat. He's beaten everyone, but he's officially beaten everybody by himself. And this probably will push him into another stratosphere. We'll have a couple more months with him as champion, and that just raised the question: who's next? Who's next to take the belt off him? Who can take the belt?
Right. Well, that's Clash at the Castle. Oh, wait, hold on. We didn't say it all. We all said. Well, y'all all said Drew.
You don't think Drew's gonna win? Stretch?
Nope.
Oh,
that's fair.
Special song and all. I still say loses.
That'll be a big upset.
I think if Drew wins, he's not winning the belts. Like it'll be going to retain the title somehow.
It's gonna be a technicality if it happens.
There's gonna be something.
It's gotta be a technicality.
Yeah, but don't forget, Theory still has the Money in the Bank too. So who knows? Honestly, cool. That was Clash at the Castle. Now we are going to jump into Worlds Collide. It's NXT, which comes on Sunday at. Did they give the time yet? I believe
4 p.m. EST.
Damn.
4 p.m.
Cool. So let's start with the North American title, the North American Championship, which is the champion Carmelo Hayes versus a former holder of the title, Ricochet.
A champ retains.
Yeah, I agree.
Gonna be an amazing. Can be, as technical as can be, or it can be as flippy as possible. Either which way. Carmelo, or excuse me, not Carmelo. Melo don't miss. And he's one of those wrestlers that I think can actually match styles with anybody at this point. He's one of those wrestlers. So if Ricochet wants to do flippy shit, Melo's gonna match him right there. If Ricochet wants to get a bit of technical, a little bit of chain wrestling, even though it's not really his forte, I would say, Melo's gonna match him with that too. So it's gonna be an amazing match. I do hope that it doesn't start the show, but most definitely might be match of the night. So we'll see.
Jen? Guys,
Melo or
Melo or
Ricochet?
Ricochet.
Mello.
Oh,
I'm contemplating because it's like you'd want either or. I feel if Melo wins, if Melo wins, it's cool. He's still the A champ. We get that. But I think if Ricochet wins, Melo's going to. I would say Melo would be called up.
Mm-hmm.
The kid's ready. He's ready. He's literally ready. He's ready for the main roster. He's ready for that type. He's ready to get some burn on there. I think he's made the North American title. Honestly, he's made it more important than their current NXT champion. He's made it more important than it. Like you get to enjoy a Carmelo Hayes match more than you get to enjoy a Braun Breaker match. So but I think like it would make sense to just push if Melo doesn't go over, just send him up and push him even more on there.
Yeah, I just don't see Melo losing. He's too much on the roll right now.
Can't disagree with that.
And even with him as a heel, he's one of the most loved superstars in NXT right now. So I just don't see him losing.
Would you say the best? Because
the best NXT superstar,
as in currently, yes.
I don't know. Depends how you look at it.
No,
he's not the best.
Who's the best?
Mako Satomura is the best.
Okay. Now that you brought her in, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
I feel like
I wasn't counting NXT UK just yet.
Nah,
she's a bona fide legend. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's perfect. They're on the same roster.
Yeah. But anywho's, let's go to the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match, which is Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Nikki ASH and Doudrop.
Doudrop.
Come on now. They ain't giving it to them.
It would be interesting.
This could actually go either way.
Yeah.
It's the same with the Melo situation. Like this
I
could go either way.
Either way. I think the champs retain because they just won, and I think the title I think has been like they want to establish them, and I think it's a good team. And I think the title has been in kind of little not flux, but it's been moving around a lot lately. Toxic Attraction had a short reign. Cora Jade turned on her partner, Roxy,
Actually, Jackson had that
Roxanne
titles for a
Perez,
long
yeah.
time.
and the titles just got won by Chance and
Yeah, Toxic had it for
Carter.
near almost a year, I believe,
Yeah.
right?
They lost. They lost in short.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did, and then they won it back.
And then they won it back. They lost to, what was that? Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez. Did they lose that too? And then they won it back very shortly.
They won
Held
it
it
back
for a while.
Because of
and then,
Raquel's injury. Yeah, right.
yeah, and then they lost it again. And then the titles were held up. And then Chance and Carter won. So I think they want to establish those two as a strong team.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
they truly were
I think it'll
the
be a very
only
competitive match.
They truly were the only women's tag team they had in NXT for a very long time. So I think they should keep it. But I also see the upside of bringing them up. But if rumors, which may end up possible, I wouldn't even say rumors, but if what I'm thinking may end up happening is they may end up merging the belts at some point. So we'll see how that goes. But I would love. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that would make sense. I mean, I know that they want, because I know like Kaden and Katana, like they would want to go. They were trying to push it to like say like, oh, they just defended on every brand, which would be cool. That would be cool. But that's initially that was what the original
plans were.
The original plans were for the what's it called, the original women's tag team titles. So I mean, it's like if they're gonna merge it, it's just like, well, if they were gonna merge the titles now, then it should have just had this championship and just included them as well. That it's like you just it's a give and take, and it's just like, you know what, whatever. You just go with what you know.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So there is the NXT/NXT UK Tag Team Championship Unification Fatal 4-Way Elimination Match. Say that 5 times fast. The Creed brothers, who are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brooks and Jensen and Briggs, who are the NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Pretty Deadly, and Gallus. This can go a lot of ways, gents.
I have 2 words for you, gentlemen.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, boy. That's who I'm picking to win. Pretty Deadly. Give them both of the belts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I raise your yes, boy, and I bet you the Gallus boys win those belts.
See. You gotta say I see your, and then I raise.
Well, I'm not good at poker.
You see my yes, boy, and want to be a part of it so badly. I see it within you, Troy.
No, thank you.
Very closely, you inch over to the side of Pretty Deadly.
The Gallus boys are the rightful owners of those belts, and they should have the belts back.
The rightful owners of the belts are Pretty Deadly. Kit Wilson, Elton Prince. Are you kidding me? There's no tag team that looks like them.
Thank God.
That's what it's about.
Yeah. Anyways, I would say Gallus too.
See, this is what I have to deal with on a weekly basis. Yeah, anyways.
Oh my God. I know who said that. Oh,
Q.
Give it to Julius Creed.
The Creeds?
Yeah. They're
Talaferro.
They're that fucking.
Hey.
That's the official, unofficial fifth corner. Said the Creed brothers have a rugged sex appeal that I, as a straight man, have no interest in. But their suplexes are very sensual in a way.
See, now, when he says stuff like that, you talk about rugged sex appeal. How could you not pick Pretty Deadly? How could you not? Look at them, 2 tasty snacks.
I'm surprised you're not mad that that the Druids aren't in it.
The Schism?
No, the Dyad.
Whatever.
There we go.
Working for inclusivity. See, I could go on a rant, but in the interest of time and the interest of fairness to these gentlemen, I'm not going to do that.
I mean,
I'm not gonna enlighten you. I'll enlighten you after the show, especially you, K Marvel, because you need to hear this most of all. That man Joe Gacy is fighting for a better world. That man Joe Gacy is fighting for inclusivity in NXT. That man Joe Gacy is not only fighting for equality for everybody, but equity as well. But I'm gonna spare you my thoughts, and I'm gonna spare you my rantings and ravings, and I'm gonna spare you enlightenment until after the show. You sit there with that smug look on your face, drinking your lemonade in that imperious manner, as if you're better than us. Joe Gacy wants to make NXT a better place, and people like you are holding him back. And I'm sick of it personally.
If you want to be part of the cult, you could just admit
now it's a cult. Now this.
Yes.
Now this.
It's a cult.
They called the Panthers a cult back in the day.
Oh God, we're not comparing this to the Panthers.
That's wild.
Oh, no, you're not fixing to compare the Diane.
That's crazy.
Well, sit your ass down, brother.
That's wild. Pharaoh also said, "Pretty Deadly tried too hard. Give me those sexy creeds." Oh man, ridiculous. Excuse me, give me a second. Pardon me. All right, so next we got the NXT/NXT UK Women's Championship unification match. The NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose versus Miko Sakamura, who is the NXT UK Women's Champion, versus Blair Davenport, and if you know her in the Indies, she was known as Bea Priestley. So, who's going to take it?
Huh.
The troll in me wants Mandy Rose to win this match so bad.
Oh, man.
I can see people complain.
The internet is going to explode.
Just so I can see people complain, I want to see Mandy Rose win this match. But I think
I can see her going to win. I can see her pinning Bea Priestley if that's going to happen, honestly. But
listen, if you're gonna say Mandy Rose and you want it to be like in troll matter, if you're gonna be a monkey, be a gorilla. Let her pin Miko Satomura so the internet can explode in anger. But in all seriousness, I think Miko Satomura. You know what? I can see Bea Priestley winning this match also.
I was just about to say that.
And like
I can
also the whole, you're coming into this match with nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Blair Davenport, Bea Priestley would be.
Oh, Blair. Yes, thank you.
She would be the wild card to win, and it would be. And either way, even if she was to win, it would be a good turnout because it's like, okay, she won. Now it's the new NXT would be starting fresh, but I personally would rather go with Miko Satomura and let her just still go on this monster run that she's already on.
Yep.
Like, if anything, like let her go on this monster run and have a longer reign to eclipse even Asuka's. And then once that happens, you go, either you want to call her because either way it's either you want to keep her down there to may be the standard for everyone to try to beat, or if you're gonna put it on like Blair Davenport to win, then obviously Mandy and Miko must be getting called up. Y'all must be calling. Either y'all have to be calling them up. That's the only thing.
Like, I see Toxic Attraction going up very soon.
Go ahead. Oh no, sorry to cut you off. I was just gonna say Toxic Attraction definitely would have to come up officially if Mandy loses, because now it's like, all right, now you have the full package deal. Just bring them up.
Agree. I am very much so leaning on Blair Davenport. That was my original choice all that time, but Mako sounds as an amazing choice as is, because not only can you have her run through the newly branded NXT, you can actually bring people from the main roster down to NXT to come and face her. And I think at that point, you can literally make that story, which is correct, which is what QS said a little while ago. You can actually have her face Asuka for her final match before that streak is broken. that can be the match into breaking the streak. Because Oscar's still undefeated in NXT, if I remember correctly, right?
She is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that'll be perfect. Streak versus streak.
Yeah. And last
Perfect.
but not least, we have the NXT/NXT UK Championship Unification match. Braun Breaker, who is the NXT champion, versus Tyler Bate, who is the NXT UK champion.
Don't care for it.
Hmm.
Don't care. Don't really care for who wins this match. You know, they're two phenomenal athletes, but I just personally, I guess I would have rather this be Braun Breaker versus Dragunov. I'm not really. I guess
He's
I'm not
hurt,
really.
though.
Huh?
But he's hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's hurt, so that's why I'm not interested. The guy I really want to see in this match is hurt, so it's just like I guess I'll just pass on this vote because my vote really doesn't matter for this.
Well, I mean, I think it's a hell of a consolation prize with Tyler Bate. You know, you can't go too wrong. Tyler Bate, damn good wrestler in his own right. But just to answer the question, I think Tyler Bate wins. I think that they go with a more. Not that Braun is not adaptable because he's a hell of an athlete. I think he can wrestle pretty much anyone. I think Braun is a sponge. Personally, I think he's like, to me, he's like the next big thing. To me, I don't see how they can miss with Braun Breaker. Personally, bad name aside and all, but I think that they're going to give him a shot. Meaning that I think he loses this. I think he stays in NXT a little while, maybe put some people over, and I think he's going up. You know, I see Braun having, you know, a pretty good career in front of him. I really do. I don't see how they could mess up Braun Breaker. I'm not saying they can't.
No, I know.
No, they've had
at this point you can't. At this point you can't. You're going to the main roster. It's NXT 3.0 basically. So
yeah, right.
So like at this point, like you can't
Makes
go
sense.
wrong. You can't go wrong. The only thing is you're switching from a smaller audience to a completely bigger audience.
Mm-hmm.
And from the last time he was on TV when they had the NXT title match on Raw, I believe the crowd was definitely loving him. So I don't see any problem with sending him up. I think Bates still has a lot to do with the current roster that they have, but he could easily get called up too. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. I think Tyler should win, in my opinion. They really could give it to either or. I think it would be cool if Tyler won, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, either or, it really is a toss up, and either way, I think the brand is good with either one as champion. So, cool. That was NXT. Excuse me, that was NXT. Worlds Collide. Damn, look at that. Covered 2 shows in half an hour. Shock. Let's jump to AEW All Out. The main card starts at 8:00. The pre-show, I believe, starts at 7.
Yeah,
6,
it should be
maybe.
6, probably 7. Probably
but
7.
Either way, there's a lot of matches going on. There's a lot of storylines going on. So let's jump to it. Pre-show. Let's start with the FTW Championship. You got the champion Hook versus Angelo Parker. I mean, I think this one's kind of obvious, don't you?
Send Hook.
Hook.
Yeah.
AQWK, baby.
Yeah. So let's not jump into that because it's already there.
Yeah.
We got the hard-hitting match of Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii.
That's on the pre-show?
Yep.
Sir.
Well, looks like I'm not watching All Out.
That's the match we wanted to see, folks.
That's the match I wanted to see. I don't want to see All Out. I don't care for All Out. Honestly. But Ishii wins that match. I honestly believe if Kingston wins, God bless. But if I hear Stone Pitbull play in its full glory on fucking pre-show on Sunday, that man is winning that match. Don't cut his fucking entrance, TK. Let Ishii get his entrance.
I think they're gonna give it to Kingston.
I hope to God.
I see he's winning. I see him winning this match. He could kind of use a singles victory, but I also agree with your sentiment. I'm not terribly excited for All Out personally, and I'm pretty sure that there's somebody watching this. Well, you guys don't like real wrestling. We know what we do like. Your mother, if you think that. Anyway. With that said, I'm not terribly excited for All Out. I'm gonna watch it. Wrestling. Why the hell would I not watch it? But
I mean, shit. There's a holiday next day, so why not?
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Ishii for me.
I'm excited. Yeah, I think Ishii's gonna pick up the win.
I heard they had a good match at the NJPW Strong. I think it was a pay-per-view or a special. I didn't watch the match though, but I'll see if I can go back and watch it before Sunday.
And also on the pre-show is the All Atlantic Championship, Pac versus the kind of sorta returning Kip Sabian.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm excited.
That's Pac.
It should be a good match.
I think. Here's the thing. I think it's a miss if they don't give it to Kip.
Really?
So soon?
Yeah.
I think he gets DQ'd, but still, like, so soon? You think he should win the title belt?
Yep.
No.
Nah.
I'll say this.
It doesn't
do
have
enough.
The story doesn't need to end. Give him the title. Why not?
Kip's
been there since day one.
I'll say this: if AEW does a
DQ
finish,
both of them been there since day one, though.
If AEW does a DQ finish, whether it be on their pre-show or on their pay-per-view show, they're really in flux because they very rarely do DQ finishes.
Exactly, this is what I'm saying.
When I say rare, I mean I've only seen it once.
But I think if what's it called? If
they've only done it like once or twice.
I think it should stay on Pac because it just makes sense with his visa issues. He's actually able to still like travel out and really like defend the belt everywhere. So it really just felt like it was a belt specifically for him.
I think I agree with that. Like the traveling champion route. He makes an appearance in this promotion here. He has a belt. You make a title match.
But essentially, Kip could do the same thing. Anybody could really do that. That's not. I don't think that should be exclusive to one individual.
I think what's being missed here is as I said, is with Pac's visa issues. Like Pac still has that trouble of really getting back here to the States.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it does make sense for him to like have that belt. So if he's even not able to come and defend it here, he's still able to work. He doesn't have to initially come here to AEW like all the time if he's able to, because again, there's still the travel restrictions. Like there's still travel restrictions going on with post-COVID and monkeypox and all sort of etc. Like that's really just what I was getting. What was getting at there. That's all.
Pac for me. I think Kip is going to have his best showing ever since he signed to AEW, but he doesn't need to win. I don't think he needs to win. I think the point is you're returning, and two, you're on the fucking pre-show. That should be a match on the actual show. This is WWE 2.0 again with this shit. Pac's a fucking mid-card champion. Have him on the card.
But the fact of the matter is that regardless if it's the pre-show or not, you're on the card. So
no, because then that's the same argument that was happening before.
Fact of the matter is that you're on the fucking card, though. You're getting paid.
Pretty much.
I guess.
People, if you're mad that a match is on a pre-show, then that's not.
But he's a champion. He's a champion. Every other fucking champion gets to be on the card. You don't see Jade on the fucking pre-show. You don't see Kenny on the fucking pre-show.
So what? We've seen tag champions on the pre-show before. We've watched United States champions. We've watched intercontinental.
Okay, but
champions.
you're talking about WWE. I'm talking.
It doesn't
about
matter.
AEW.
It doesn't matter. Pre-show is pre-show.
I'm talking about AEW.
It doesn't matter. You're trying to condense this into one thing, but irregardless, if it's a mid-card title, you're making it sound like that's never happened in the history of wrestling before.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying there's other storylines that are more prominent
on the card
that are on the card. Period.
You can put Jericho and Danielson on the fucking pre-show.
You're not putting that. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And I'm a Bryan fan, and I'm saying that match does not hold any fucking weight. Honestly,
I wouldn't say that.
That could be on the pre-show to me.
I wouldn't say that.
That could be on the pre-show to me.
Storyline with Daniel Garcia? Are you kidding me?
That could go on the pre-show. I'm not interested in that match either.
No, so are you saying they could be on the pre-show because
he's being Cornette?
To counterpoint it, saying that any match can be on the card because it wouldn't matter, right? It's because this is what initially what it sounds like to me, you know, saying like it doesn't matter like whether it's a pre-show or not, you're still on the card, you're getting paid,
right?
So again, is that I guess that's what is that initially striker?
That's my point. But that is my point. If you want to argue that, it doesn't matter if a champion is on the pre-show, then you can put that fucking match on the pre-show.
But that wouldn't make sense.
Bryan's been on fucking Rampage how many fucking times? You can put him on the pre-show.
Being on the pre-show with all of these other cards, all of these other matches, there's maybe one or two that I could say, all right, maybe that could go on the pre-show. You could. I'm not saying that you can't swap.
I'm not saying that you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying personally, to me, it's a disservice. The man just won the fucking title. He's been defending the belt. You're showing all his fucking matches on Dark. Put him on the fucking main card. You have Kip Sabian, which is a day one guy that is returning. Put him on a bigger platform. You're saying, he could put it on YouTube. Everybody can see it on YouTube. It doesn't fucking matter. You want to bring prevalence to a title that you just made? Put him on the fucking card. Because when's the next time? When is the next time? When is the next pay-per-view? The next pay-per-view is going to be what? Revolution or Full Gear? Full Gear. Excuse me. Full Gear. Put him on the card. It's just your first pay-per-view since he won the fucking title. Put him on the card. Yeah. On the main card at that.
I see what you mean.
That's the argument I'm making. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying I could do the fuck without Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson on the fucking card. And I love Bryan Danielson to death. So if I'm fucking saying this, it's because I really believe Pac and Kip, no matter how short the storyline is, they deserve that spotlight because they have a title.
Look, I don't. The reason why I say I don't think it matters is because we've already seen before that.
Don't imitate your predecessor by doing that.
Let me finish my statement though.
You can finish.
The fact of the matter is that we've seen people put on a hell of a match in a pre-show that superseded everything that happened on the main card before. This could just be one of those moments. They can put on a hell of a show and nobody could fucking follow them. And honestly, that's probably what the hell they're gonna do. So either way, it's gonna be awesome. So let's go into House of Black versus Darby, Sting, and Miro, who had a pretty decent that promo on Wednesday was. I enjoyed it, I must say.
And that's on the main card?
Yeah, this is the beginning of the main card.
Once again, why is that on the main card? Because Darby and Sting are in it. Put on fucking pre-show.
All right, so who's gonna win?
Not gonna lie. I think this is a 6-man tag. I'm actually I think I'm finally getting tired of seeing a Sting match. I mean, I'm getting in that. I'm just at that point where I really am I'm kind of over seeing the Sting matches because I already know 9 times out of 10 they're gonna come out with the Darby Sting Ghost Rider entrance. They're gonna Obviously, Miro's entrance is going to be badass. House of Black's entrance is going to be crazy. But it's just a match where I feel like, I'm not. I guess I'm just not as drawn in because I get it's, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Mm-hmm.
We got to take out a bigger enemy as is. It's just, I'll give it to House of Black. I'll just give it to House of Black to win.
Agree.
I actually see it going the other way.
Okay.
And the way I see it is I think they're going to try to get Miro over as a face more so than anything else. But an interesting scenario is what if they have Miro as like basically a face by proxy at this point. What if he joins the House of Black? Like, that would be very interesting, I think.
If Miro joins the
I agree.
If Miro joined the House of Black. That would be very interesting. But
so that's his God. So that's his God that he prays to now.
Maybe.
Hmm.
He might have been praying to the devil the whole time.
The God that gave him a neck of sand. He may be praying to something else to fortify his neck of sand.
Interesting.
For it was Job that had everything taken away from him. It was Job that had everything taken away from him by God, who tried to show the devil that Job was a good servant and that he would stick by his side. But Miro's no Job. Oh, no, sir. He's not a pushover like Job. God is not willing to give Miro what he wants. He will take it. Why not join the House of Black?
Somebody clip that.
Very true.
All right. Next match, we got Ricky Starks versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
That's
a main card match.
That's a main card match. I agree with him on that.
That's a main card match.
That's a main card match. That's a shame that that's on the pre-show.
It's not on the pre-show.
No, it's a main card. It's a main card. I was just
Okay.
reiterating. That's a main card.
I wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah,
but
that one's gonna be
Starks. I think he can use if they're going to push him as a face. I think he can use a victory.
He used the win because he's been losing. Yeah, he's been losing a little bit. So I think give it to Starks. Let him get that. Get that W. I really do believe. I think like he's gonna win by somehow weaseling it out. I think he's gonna
outsmart Hobbs.
Yeah, he's gonna outsmart Hobbs. Hobbs is gonna probably be dominant for the entirety of the match, for majority of the match, and that's what's gonna cost him. But it's still gonna be a great fucking match. They're gonna tell a story.
Schoolboy.
Cool.
Gonna win with a schoolboy.
Next we got Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
They've cooled off on this a little bit. It's not as hot as it once was.
Yeah.
Not as hot as it once was. It's cooled off. I'm going to say Christian wins because Luchasaurus gets involved. I think he turns heel and solidifies it.
I don't think so. I think
because they've done how can I hurt my friend? The attached dinosaur. If you're gonna let him be a Jurassic Menace, if you're gonna give him that entrance with all that fire and all that pyro and that new mask, he's got to be a heel. He does not look like a face, or at least get rid of that goofy mask. But I think he turns.
Or he may cost somebody the match, but he may end up just saying fuck both of them and just leave and go on its own. Could see that happening too. I don't see him needing to align with anybody. He just come out, fuck shit up, leave.
Jack might not necessarily need the win, but I think based off of storyline, he should win. Things it was just a little too personal, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying watching based off of the storyline. But I think Jack definitely needs to win, and he needs to win after hitting In 'Em Prettier and then putting him in a snare trap.
The perfect FU to the storyline. Works.
So, next we got the TNT champion Wardlow and the ROH IWGP and AAA tag team champions FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, Christopher Sabin and Alex Shelley, whom I'm very excited to see on AEW.
This is a hype match. This is just it's just I feel like it really was just a match with that was built off of just some of the names alone. Like this is us being able to see the Motor City Machine Guns again. Well, not again for the first. This is what their first time at All Out.
Is it their first time?
Were they at All In?
I'm trying to. I don't know if they were there together as a tag team. I'm trying to figure it's one or the other was at
as a tag team. I think this is their first
was
time.
Was it Kushida at All In? Or was Kushida? No, Kushida wasn't in WWE yet.
No, I don't think he was at. What was it? 2018, 2019.
What?
18.
What?
We're trying to figure out if any of the Motor City Machine Guns was at All In,
or any AEW event for that matter.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. But
Shelley, actually, it's funny you say that. Shelley was in NXT for a match with Kushida.
He was.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right, this is their first. This is the first time seeing Motor City Machine Guns All Out. Well, that's hype enough. That's pretty much it. I still kind of think it's a slow. This was another way to get FTR and Wardlow on the card. Because to me, I feel like they just haven't been doing anything with Wardlow as TNT champion. I think that run has been stale. But I think it'll be a decent 6-man tag match. It'll do what it does. I think obviously Wardlow and FTR they're gonna get the win.
I don't know. I don't think they should get it. Honestly, I think they should definitely lose.
I think the heels win, and we get some title matches out of that.
Faces win.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to put Wardlow in a position where. Well, I mean, he's going to look strong regardless, but if they're really going to do this feud between Lethal and Wardlow, it's funny because obviously I think in WWE, I think the logical thing would say they're going to try to set this big guy up to go up against Wardlow. But, you never know. But I don't see Wardlow. I see Wardlow looking strong throughout this thing and finishing strong. And I think he needs to finish strong because, again, I think they've cooled off on Wardlow. Why Wardlow to me, and this is just me ranting in my opinion, why he's not the one challenging for the world championship for this pay-per-view, I have no fucking idea. But I don't see him looking bad in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to go with the faces win via Powerbomb Symphony. Somebody's going to get it.
Oof.
Yeah,
It has to be Lethal because, I don't think I want to see Motor City Machine Guns get fucking powerbombed all day. Ooh, that's going to hurt.
Oh, no, it's coming.
That's probably
my bad. I was just looking up the other thing. Let me try to get back to... you know what? Let's jump to Jericho and Danielson.
You get that if we get somewhat of a Luchasaurus appearance with that Christian and Jungle Boy situation, I think this match is very much so similar. Daniel Garcia is going to make or break the match.
I mean, it's more than obvious. His appearance is going to really determine who's actually going to win the match. I think I want to say Jericho goes over. I want to say Jericho wins. As much as because Dan, and I think it's going to happen because Dan Garcia is going to interfere. I get that he's torn. The story of it, he's torn between the two. You got your hero, and then you also got the guy that's basically your mentor right now, like facing each other. So he's like, you have to pick and choose, even though you don't want to pick. But at this point, it's like if you want to still continue to get mentored. I mean, I'd say, why not just continue with the Jericho Appreciation Society? I mean, you're with a wizard. It's been working for you thus far. I don't think because I don't need to see Daniel Garcia all of a sudden like he makes Bryan Danielson win, and now next thing you know he's now in the Blackpool Combat Club because now that takes away the luster from the group. It's like this is supposed to be an exclusive group, and you guys are just now it's coming off like, oh well, there's another edition, adding more, another name. It's just like, come on now, just give it to Jericho.
You know, I get what you're saying in that respect. It already is a loaded group. I see Danielson winning. Primarily, I think he can use the win. Number one, and number two, I don't see the JAS lasting long. I think it's ran its course. You know, honestly, and I say that from the standpoint of everybody is kind of branching out and doing their own thing. It's kind of like how the Pinnacle was. Yeah. Like their purpose has already been served to have this blood and guts match and lose. So it's like, well, let's get the new stable over. Like, the Blackpool Combat Club with Eddie Kingston and friends. It's already served its purpose in that respect. The heel machine has already been beat. Everybody else is kind of diverging like into their own things. Tay and Sammy have like the AAA mixed tag team championships. Are they still called 2.0?
Yeah.
No.
2.0 is no.
You're not 2.0?
No. They just go by their names.
Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. Yes. Those two are kind of feuding with Hook now. So it's like, Hager is still there, employed by the grace of God. And Jericho really could fit in anywhere, even though I think Jericho honestly could manage somebody, and I think that would be really interesting. But I think the JAS has kind of ran its course. And I think if they did add somebody to the Blackpool Combat Club, I don't think they can go wrong with Daniel Garcia. He fits the mold of the group. He's a technician. When I say mold of the group and have Moxley in it, but he's a technician. He's a good wrestler, and I think that I honestly think that he can fit and do well in that group as a face.
Right. He's somebody that fits that violence aspect. He's somebody that fits that hard hitting, hit me, I'm gonna hit you hard 5 times harder type shit. He's I think Brian was right. Or a lot of people had the same sentiments when Brian said that they imagined Daniel Garcia in this group anyway. So he's a good fit. He works. If they wanted to chase the tag team, if Yuta and him want to put shit aside, or if him and Brian want to, go for a tag team, some shit like that, they could do that too. I think there's a lot of potential with him.
I also think that this has been foreshadowed for quite some time. Yeah. If you look at Bryan Danielson, I always make that mistake. Look at Bryan Danielson, right? One of the first things he said to Moxley prior to the Blackpool Combat Club joining is, think about if we teamed up and we could take people under our wing like Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia. That was one of the names that he mentioned. So I think that is going to happen. I think that Garcia, I don't think he gets involved, but I think honestly down the line he will join that group.
Yeah.
You mean like Wednesday?
And more than likely, knowing this.
You got to get the ratings, man. Got to get the ratings.
More likely knowing this company, yes.
But yeah, Brian for me. That's
the same. All right, let's jump to the TBS Championship. You have the champion Jade versus Athena.
I don't think they cut the legs off the Cargill machine yet.
Yeah.
No.
At least I
probably will be her best match though. Honestly.
Yeah. Agreed.
They put her in there with a lot of workers who can make her look really good.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying that to say that she's not improving, but she still needs a lot of work.
Yep.
I think she still needs to get comfortable. There are times where she does look a little clunky. And that I think that speaks to inexperience, really, not necessarily her athletic ability. Yes, you suck your teeth. I still think she's clumsy in the ring anyway.
No, no, it's true. It's not a sucker teeth. It's the truth.
Oh,
Like she's
I
not.
think she's still a little clunky, but I think that will come with time. Like like
Yeah.
the timing and the footwork and stuff like that. She is, without question, Jade Cargill. I think might be. Maybe not. Because Bianca Belair is there too. It's like 1A and 1B. It's like the Williams sisters. Like they're like head and shoulders more athletic above anyone else in women's wrestling. That it's like really unfair.
Yeah.
But I honestly think Jade, as far as that presence, you can't deny that.
Yeah.
Like she feels way bigger than anybody in that division. So if I don't think she will lose, but if she loses, she is quickly going to be their main women's champion very soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that with Athena, she's in there with a very, very competent worker who can more than take care of her. Not that she needs to be implicitly taken care of. I don't think that she's like when I say that she needs work. I don't think that she's like incompetent to the point where it's like, oh, she needs to be in there with somebody that can carry her, quote unquote. But it's like, I think the more experienced workers that they put her in there with, the better she will get in a shorter period of time. And I think that somebody like Athena fits that mold immediately.
I think Athena, real quick,
Yeah.
I think Athena is also a viable threat. And
Yep.
I don't think enough people
this
are
point.
thinking. I don't think enough people are really seeing it.
I think they've built this well, personally.
Yeah.
Like
They haven't.
Has Athena wrestled? Like
Probably
debut?
on Dark and stuff. Like
'Cause
it
Dark and
hasn't
stuff,
been.
yeah.
So full admission, I read Dark spoilers every now and then. I don't watch it. So if anybody out there watching can fill me in, has she wrestled since she's debuted? Because it seems like every time I see it.
No, yeah, she's wrestled a few times, a number of times. Since
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it seems like every
Dark,
time, like
tags.
it's like the same thing that they do seemingly with every person that's a woman that cuts a promo. They just get interrupted, and then she shows up. It says her piece, and then they part ways. Like, ooh, they're angry at each other. That's what I've seen thus far. Like, she just shows up, interrupts, and it's like, I'll leave you with that quote. And it's like they sit on that, and then they leave. They cut the scene. So hopefully something good could come out of this, because the build to me has not been very good.
It's the build. It wasn't there because it's like the build is there, but it's like it's not because truthfully, this was supposed to be a Chris Statlander match, and but injuries happen. It is what it is. Honestly, I was gonna go for Jade anyways because Athena's just not. Come on now, we've seen this before. We've seen what happened when Athena goes against somebody undefeated. Do we need to go back to the shades of when she's NXT? Like, come on, like it's the same like last time. It ain't nothing new. Nothing's gonna change. Jade is gonna still end up having the foot on their necks when it comes to the TBS. When it comes to the TBS championship, I would wish that she goes and really shakes it up and goes after the women's championship as well, the main women's championship as well. So that way she just holds both belts. So that way that's going to bring more eyes on the fucking title and actually make people take it more seriously.
Cool. Let's jump to the ladder match for the number one contendership for the AEW title. You have the ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli versus Rey Fenix versus Rush versus Dante Martin versus Andrade versus Penta versus the ROH Pure Champion Rita Euler and the Joker, which is a surprise contestant.
Joker wins.
Surprise wrestler, excuse me.
Joker wins. MJF returns. Joker wins. Set it up for Full Gear. And that's that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Give me Penta John. I'm all for that match.
You said Penta John?
Yeah.
I don't think John's winning that match.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I think the Joker wins. I agree. I don't see none of those tag team. But then again, you know what? Let me not say that, because even if they do win, doesn't guarantee them that they'll win the goddamn match for the title. It's just like another
Right.
match that's on Dynamite. You know, like that's the thing. Like to me, it would be very anticlimactic if any of the members participating in this that are in a tag team were to win this.
Right.
If they go that route, I think the Joker wins because I think the Joker will be a single star, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Martin win this match.
Okay.
And here's why.
That'll be interesting.
I think that he has the potential to be a very big single star.
Mhm.
I think that, unfortunately, and I'm not saying this is a detriment, you know, his brother came back and got hurt so quickly. I think that they were going to be one of the top tag teams in AEW. But unfortunately, his brother got in a car accident. You know, I wish him a speedy recovery. He came back so soon. He came back off of an injury and got hurt again, which totally sucks.
Yeah,
but Martin was really having upward trajectory as a single star.
Yep.
And I think, you know, their decision to put him back in this tag team, not that it was a bad decision, I'm not saying that, but it kind of took his legs out from underneath him because nobody was expecting his brother to get hurt again so soon, unfortunately.
True.
So it kind of left him lost in the shuffle.
I think part of it too is that, you know, him going from person, you know, train quote unquote mentor to the thing with Team Taz, back to the mentor, back with some other shit, then with Sky Blue because they're dating, and then it's definitely been like lost in the sauce, and you know it sucks because he is such a talented kid. For at his age, the things that he can do and the matches that he's able to put on, and the innovation that he's able to create, is spectacular. You know, I say I've said this to a few people. Him, Ray Phoenix, and people like Will Ospreay or Ricochet. You know, these are those people that are truly innovators. These are the people that you literally can say, "Yo, I have never seen that before." You know, so Dante would be that would be really interesting. No matter who he faced, whether it was Punk or Moxley. But all honesty, let's be real. You know, the best thing about this is that anybody in this match can have a great match with whoever wins the title, and that's just a fact. Um, you know, anybody.
I agree.
Now, granted, we don't know who the Joker is going to be, of course, but more than likely they will be able to have a great match with either Punk or Mox.
I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. My thing is this: I think anybody who, depending on who the Joker is, you know, we don't know.
Yeah.
But I just think that anybody who's in the match currently, if they were to win the title match, I think would be very good. You know, whether it's Moxley or Punk. However, I think the match would be very anticlimactic. Because it's like, let's say if Claudio,
let's say I was just about to say him.
Let's say if he wins, you have a title versus title scenario now. I think he loses. I just don't see him winning. Let's say if one of the Lucha Brothers win the match. I see one of them losing. I don't see any of them winning.
Do you think if it is somebody who holds the title, they would put that up for grabs, or they would?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it from the standpoint of where's the danger for the champion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you don't think Claudio would be a legitimate threat?
No.
Why?
No, I just don't see him winning. Like they already gave him his moment in the sun.
Not about him winning. Can you see him to be a credible threat?
No, well, I'm not saying credibility from the standpoint I'm looking at it maybe from a story standpoint, and I think you're looking at it from a match standpoint. I think any of the people who are in this match wins the match. You're going to have a great match with the champion. I'm not disagreeing with that, my thing is this. What, like, story-wise, it's like, okay, let's say, quote unquote, I want Dante Martin to win, right? I know for a hot fact they're not going to put the championship on Dante Martin so fucking cheap.
Yeah.
They're not going to do that. Same thing with, like, and it would make more sense, like, from a storyline standpoint, if Claudio Castagnoli had won this match prior to him becoming ROH World Champion, then you have a story to build off of. Oh, he's never won a world championship anywhere. That could have been his moment in the sun. That makes the match feel more important. He's also facing off maybe against Moxley. You throw that in there. It's a member of the same stable he's in. You know, or you think, or if he faces Punk, you know, it's a guy that beat like the main guy of the stable that he's in. Now he has a chance to be the main guy. This, that, and the third. There's so much more to build off of than, yeah, we're gonna have a great match. You know, like everybody has a great match in AEW. I say the same thing about wrestlers. If everybody's a great wrestler, nobody stands out.
Yep.
So it's the same. Like, I'm not saying that to say, like, you know, you shouldn't watch the match or whatever, shouldn't watch AEW because, like, they do put on great matches. I'm thoroughly entertained every week by the matches, but you know, you can only do so much to me to keep my interest with a cold story with a great match. Like, I'll watch the match, like, oh, that was a fun little match, and then it's like next, because it's like you won't remember like until the next great match comes along. You won't remember what you just saw unless there's some type of story behind it.
Right.
I think with this scenario, having Bill Castagnoli in this match, who honestly think it could be the one, like, if it's not the Joker, to win this match. But I think they missed the boat with the storyline that they just did. It's like, oh, he's never held a championship, and now he's going for the Ring of Honor World Championship. Sure, there's history there. It was still a good story. But now there's a bigger prize on the line. Like, the ROH World Championship is not that big in comparison to AEW's World Championship. So it's like,
Right.
I'm not saying that it won't be a great match, whoever wins it. I think I know it'll be a damn good match, but I'm not particularly, like, always excited because I'll see a great match. I wanted some storyline. I want some meat with the potatoes as well, you know?
Right.
All right, let's get to. All right, so this is going to be a little tricky. We have the brand new AEW World Trios Championships. We already know that the Elite is in the actual finals at All Out. Tomorrow night on Rampage, we're going to have the Dark Order, which is John Silver. Oh my God, why'd I blank out on his name just now?
Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Hangman
Page versus who are they facing?
Best Friends.
Right. Best Friends. Forgot about that. I mean, I think we all know who's gonna win that match.
Yep.
So the Elite versus Dark Order and Hangman Page. Me personally, I say they give it to the Dark Order. I think it's time.
Same.
I think they've been dicked around, and by dicked around, I don't mean like disrespected. I mean so that you know, they do their comedy bits and they do all of this stuff, but once again, these are people, you know, and sadly, it's kind of, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but it's kind of what Stretch was just talking about. You know, everybody puts on great matches, and that's fine, but I just don't think that Kenny and the Bucks need to win. That's just on me. That's just my opinion. I think it would be really cool if the Dark Order wins the titles, even if they only have it for, like, let's say 2, 3, 4 months. You know, I just think it would be a really great accolade for the group. I think everybody outside, you know, the people who are no longer there would be over the moon for them. You know, I personally say the Dark Order are going to win, and I think Heyman is going to end up being the reason if he doesn't turn.
Yeah, give it to the Dark Order. The Elite winning, it's just way too obvious. It's like, and I feel like for me, the Elite winning would just be meh. From last time, it was just meh. When hell, for them even to be in the finals, I personally would have rather it be United Empire versus Dark Order. I felt like that would have been a way better match.
Crazy.
It would have been a great, a way more.
Yo, Osprey versus Silver.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Exactly. It's like you just going with. It's like basically it's Dark Order versus the EVPs. It's like that's where it's just like it just looks at this when you look at it through that type of story. It's just like that's it. It's just you don't want to, you really don't want to see it. I don't want to see the Elite win this. Like
it's a being the Elite 6-man tag team match. That's what it is.
Because it's like that's really what it is.
I'm okay with that.
It's a segment.
You're not wrong.
It's a segment.
You're not wrong.
It's literally a segment.
I personally would like to see the Dark Order win it because it at least make them relevant.
Yep.
In a wrestling sense. However, I will say this: the match that should have been the finals we saw on Wednesday.
Yep.
Because it's like they made a story out of it. It's like Omega and Ospreay were going back and forth on Twitter. It's look at your merchandise sales. He's not that big of a star.
Hilarious.
And they had like the little small interaction with Don Callis and Will Ospreay.
Right.
And I'm like, you're doing all this with a match and this again is another gripe because they've somehow managed to make a semifinal match in this tournament seem more important than the final match for the title.
Exactly.
And people are just like, but it's going to be a good match. And I'm like, there's so much story implication that they could have built on for this title to make it feel more important. But be that as it may, I honestly think the Elite are going to win. But I think that they should have put if you put that final match if you put that semifinal match in the finals, you can do no wrong. I mean, that is a match that will elevate that championship for years to come. But
it was funny. I was watching the match last night, and I was like, this morning, but whatever. I was watching.
Get no better than that,
dude. I was like, this is a straight New Japan match.
Yep. Ospreay for 2 weeks did what absolutely nobody in AEW has done in a while, which is make you watch that fucking show. And I wanted United Empire to win so badly because that meant, honestly, Will Ospreay, since even before him going heavyweight, this faction is literally one of the best factions out there right now.
I blame. Told y'all. When in doubt.
And Aussie Open is an amazing fucking tag team.
I literally told you, send in Will Ospreay when you just if you want something done, send in Will Ospreay. It wasn't a lie. He's literally the standard. He's the standard. He's one of the best in the world, period. He could be in your top 5. He's definitely in your top 10. It's hell, if you even want to be crazy enough to put him in your top 3, you can. He can go with anybody. He literally can. It's not a joke. It's not anything. It's not cap. Like he deserved, and I still feel they deserve to win. They deserve to be in the finals. They really had that for the past 2 weeks. They literally went. They're the ones that really went and brought the show over the roof. His United Empire alone. Like you're not gonna get that. You wasn't gonna get that with a Dark Order and Elite match. And I mean, we're gonna see tomorrow. Hopefully they tear the house down like they did on Wednesday. Hopefully, but
hopefully
it's just.
I mean, look, give credit to where credit is due.
Yeah,
the Dark Order,
they deserve
Reynolds and Silver are a great tag team.
Yeah.
Silver has shown Reynolds also, but Silver more so.
Right.
Out of anybody in the Dark Order, outside of not Harper, Brody Lee. When it comes to singles, he has we've even in tag matches, we've watched him do some amazing shit. We've watched him do some crazy shit with the Bucks. So honestly, I think I think this match is gonna be a surprise sleeper for sure, for damn sure.
I think Reynolds is the show stealer of that match.
He could be. He did.
I've seen some Reynolds matches, and that man can go. I love Silver, at least on a wrestling aspect, but Reynolds can fucking go. That guy can go.
Right.
So if anybody during that match, Reynolds probably has the most amazing showing of that side of the match.
Yeah, we shall see. Let's go to the AEW Tag Team Championships. You have the champion Swerving Out Glory
Oh, yeah.
versus the Acclaimed. Sorry.
I wouldn't be surprised if they open the show. As much as I don't want them to, but I think you want to get the crowd hype. If you want me to be very negative, you get the black people out of there as soon as possible. So you put them on the start of the show. I'm just playing, but
we're
you
in a
want the
bunch of
crowd.
matches. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying, if you want a black centric match besides Ricky and Hobbs, but I was just joking anyway. But if you want a hype match to start
And
the
you have
show,
Jade
that
and
is
Cena.
that too.
I agree.
You want a hype match to start the show? Tag team titles always does it. Honestly,
Yeah, it's true.
I think either way is it's the tag titles are good. I think either way the crowd is good.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about winning.
Chicago.
Either way, I think it's going to be a fun match, and either one is an acceptable outcome.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an either or for me. There really is no like choice to be like who's the favorite. Either or, they're both teams are entertaining. It's going to be a nice high flying. I would say it's a high flying match. It's going to be hard hitting. Swerve's going to do his thing. Keith Lee's going to do his thing. As long as they end up having fun with this, that's all that matters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they will.
I think Swerve and Lee retain, but I would like to see the Acclaim, get some more shots in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Agree with that.
And let's get to it. Last match, AEW Championship match. You have the current champion who won in a decisive victory a couple weeks ago, Jon Moxley, versus CM Punk, whose foot is apparently good to go.
I can't believe this match from a story standpoint. The fact that he supposedly injured his foot in this match, and now he is somehow miraculously healed.
Like, if this isn't lazy, if this isn't
the Messiah,
if this isn't fucking lazy, I don't know what is.
Can I say? I don't want to cut you off. I just want to say something from the standpoint of an individual who's had multiple surgeries on his legs. I have a steel plate in my shin right now, and I've broken my ankle before. I've had hardware in my ankle, right? You don't get over that with a pep talk. It's kind of a hell of a promo. Don't get me wrong, but that pain doesn't go away because somebody fires you up. It's like, I'm going to sign this contract and kick his ass and be completely healthy. He has to. To me, if he does not limp to the ring, if he does not sell this foot in some way, shape, or form, I'm personally going to be upset. Because
look.
Why did he lose in 4 minutes because of his foot, and now his foot somehow was miraculously healed?
Bro, don't forget, we're talking about two of the best in the game. You know what I mean? We're talking about two people who know their way inside outside of the ring.
Not disagreeing with you.
These are two people who know the psychology.
Not disagreeing
game,
with you.
So I think when it comes to the foot aspect, they're gonna have to. I don't think there's any way to ignore it. And they would be highly foolish to ignore it.
I'm not disagreeing with you as far as like the potential for this to be a good match. But here's the thing. I think that a lot of people are not watching this for the quality of the potential match. I think they are watching this to see how they're going to work around this issue that I just talked about.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, how's his foot going to respond? They're watching this basically to see how CM Punk is going to perform, I think. And I think that takes away from the title match within itself because they've already illustrated how he would perform. I don't care who he is. I don't care if he's like fucking Lance Armstrong. There's no way you get over broken bones in a foot in a week's time. It doesn't happen. And it's like, we as wrestling fans suspend our disbelief for a lot of shit. But they've already established that he lost this match because of a bad foot.
Mm-hmm.
A foot injury does not heal that fast. It just doesn't.
No,
I can't. I don't know.
No stretch. You gotta believe. You gotta believe in Tony Tone. You gotta believe in him. No matter.
What'd you say?
Tony Tone. That's his name. That's his name that they've given him all online. You gotta believe in him. Trust his process. He's got it. This is it. Hold up. I'll be right back. Before I continue.
Social call.
No, he's switching back to the laptop.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I'm back. So
Okay.
yeah, so
Damn.
that was fast.
yeah, so yeah,
Accuracy.
you can sit here and make the bullshit up and say like, oh, you got to trust the process. I know I never doubted you when we got people are just trying to like overlook the reality. The reality is that Phil Brooks is still hurt. CM Punk is still hurt. He obviously still has a broken foot. He's not 100%. He's probably not even 75%.
No.
But because you guys need this title match to happen, you guys feel like, oh yeah, let's run it back the right way. When in truth, you shouldn't have ran it back. This shouldn't have been a run back to begin with.
Yeah.
If they had pushed this to now and he had went and won,
This should have been the first match.
This would have been the first match.
This should have been when the match happened. Right.
Yes, and then if John went and won this match in 4 minutes for this main event, then it would have been like that would have got everybody buzzing and talking. Instead, you put it on for the show.
Right.
You put it on for the show, so now the buzz is over. Now we don't even care to see it. We don't care to see this rematch like this because we know he's hurt.
That match was the realistic match. That's why.
Like it's like I honestly, I'll say it again. I don't really care who the fuck wins this match now. I don't give a shit.
Same.
If Moxley's gonna win, cool. Let Moxley win. Or if better yet, if Moxley wins, or if Punk wins, if Punk ends up winning this title match, MJF has to come out. That is literally like my only like that I will accept this. That this will be like, all right, this is good. I'm okay with this. MJF.
If not Sunday, Wednesday.
I think Sunday's perfect. I think
Sunday would be the icing on the cake. Wednesday would be like, oh, okay. That would Wednesday would be fine as well. It would be a nice consolation prize. It'd be like, all right, either way, it's fine. But they're gonna have to really like, if they're gonna really try to show me like a solid wrestling match between the two, it's gonna make everybody there's gonna be some that's gonna love it regardless and be like, oh, this is hard hitting, like this is solid match, solid best of the match, and then there's others like us that's gonna just look at it like he's hurt. There's really not much you can fucking do. This gonna be. I feel like this doesn't. I feel like I would rather the trios match be the main event.
Show, right? Yeah.
I'd rather the trios match be the main event now. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. So if MJF is the catalyst for this match, I think MJF is the reason Punk wins the match on Sunday.
Because he's going to be the one to go to take it from him officially, as they should have. I see him screwing over Moxley. Yeah.
And have MJF versus Punk happen. And the thing is, if Tony has galaxy brain thinking, you can make this whole situation a ruse and have Punk coming out to chase MJF after the promo being their actual later on exchange saying that when I win the title or whatever is happening with my health, blah, 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 you help me win this title back, you get your match. Not only do you change Punk to this nefarious heel,
right,
you have MJF back, which can either easily be a heel or a face out of this. So I think ultimately MJF is the catalyst for the match. I completely agree with that. But the winner, I agree with QS wholeheartedly. I don't give two shits about this match.
I don't really.
Once I see Mox was the guy who the winner of the Battle Royale had to face, I already knew the fix was in.
Yeah.
It was way too fucking obvious.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the problem started. And I've said this vehemently on the podcast as well. I don't fucking understand why you're going to put Mox out and open. And it should have been Hangman, truthfully. But you're going to put him out in the open to face the winner of the Battle Royale at the end of the night. Obviously, he's going to fucking win the match. That doesn't make any sense to me. So whoever wins. Don't give a fuck as long as I see MJF and MJF gets what he rightfully deserves as a pillar of AEW, and that is his title match. And he wins. And out of that, that's when you get all of the roster flowing out because everybody hates MJF. And who's going to be first in line? Mr. Mayhem, Wardlow.
I hope not. I hope that gets extended because MJF definitely owes him one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was AEW
Mhm.
All Out. So once again, WWE Clash at the Castle happens on Saturday at 1:00 Eastern Standard. NXT Worlds Collide happens Sunday at 4:00 Eastern Standard, and All Out is also on Sunday at 8:00 Eastern Standard.
Well, technically
Standard,
7, right?
Excuse me.
7
But-
for pre-show?
Pre-shows 7 to 6, 1 to 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all, rocking with us. But there's something going on. There's a little something happening next week. So wait, hold on, not yet. Put your arms down. Let me. I got you. Stretch, I got you. All right. So as we come up, we know today is September 1st. So shout out to all the Virgos in the area, in the building. Shout out to the little one. Her birthday's in 3 weeks. My birthday's in 2 weeks. Niece, family, everybody knows somebody born in September. Side note, did you know September has the top 5 most common birthdays in the world? Crazy. Yeah, it's not in any particular order.
A lot of people getting together in them cold months.
Yeah, pretty much. So I know September 12th was number 1.
September 12th?
I think the 19th was 2.
Oh, it's born on the 19th.
My dad.
I think I forgot what 3 was. The 10th, which was mine, is the 4th. And then I think they said the 9th might have been 5th or something like that.
My mom was born on the 9th. It's actually funny.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and I know mad people born on the 10th, born on all of these dates. So it's insane.
Yep.
But anyways, so September's a big month for a lot. So I'm just gonna push this out. We have a huge announcement for next week's episode, and I will spotlight my brother Stretch.
Give him the big screen.
Why is it not? I'm trying to give him the big.
Ladies
There
and
it
gentlemen,
is. Yeah,
it is
Stretch,
my
it's all
honor.
yours, brother.
And my privilege to announce that next week at a special start time of 7 p.m. is arguably the biggest episode of this podcast that we can ever provide for the watching public. For years, we have looked for an individual with that je ne sais quoi, that magic that makes you want to reach through the screen and touch greatness. But don't grab it because it might be too hot. You might burn yourself trying to touch this piece of pro wrestling magic. We are bringing on an individual to this show who needs no introduction, an individual who can only uplift us to his level of greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Wolfgang von Stretchington III, will allow me to announce by these 3 brothers that do this podcast with me, we are here to interview not your father, not my father, not Stryker's father, not K's father, not QS's father, but the all-father of professional wrestling. Wrestling's richest prize, Mr. Darius Carter, will be on this show next week. Special start time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Be there, be squared. We will be interviewing this man from the ground up to where he is today. You want to find out this information, make sure that you tune in, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'll be here in my Sunday best on Thursday. Make sure you arrive in yours.
Oh, man. So y'all heard it first. Right here, right now, we have the All-Father, Darius Carter, on the show next week, September 8th, 2022. Gonna be a huge episode. We cannot wait. We are going to have a fucking blast. So shouts out to Darius Carter, the All-Father. Excuse me, I've been sneezing up a storm. Yeah, so we're really excited. We can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun. And gentlemen, with that being said, let's do what we do.
Man, I'm a little exhausted after still hearing the news. You know, I had to clutch my pearls multiple times yesterday. Everybody you can find down there at those social media links, but it pales in comparison to what I just said. The individual who will be gracing us with his presence on the show next week. I know that I've set aside a special chunk of time to practice some self-care, to come down off of the cloud that I will be on both before, during, and after this interview. When I talk about a life-changing coup for the Council of Commentary, Mr. Darius Carter is it. You can follow me there on Instagram and Twitter, but make sure you follow our special guest and follow the show next week, 7 p.m. Eastern, special start time for a very special guest.
Oh my God.
How can you follow that?
Well, as always, you know, you can follow me at Forever Thiefin. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. There's not much else I really got to say for this week. Just thank you. Keep it pushing, keep it moving. Don't let it get to you.
Yeah.
Stay safe, y'all.
Okay. And it is me, Striker Dragoon, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, all the same. Let me check what my goddamn YouTube is at. I don't fucking know. Let me see. Sorry, kids. I'm old and I cuss a lot. I am currently at 67.
Old?
Me?
Aren't you the youngest one out of all of us?
Definitely not.
He's not.
No, you're the youngest.
QS is the youngest, yes.
Oh.
I'm second
bullshit.
youngest.
My bad.
Anywho, the YouTube is at 67 subs. I only need 33 more, and then you don't have to hear me give you this spiel every goddamn week.
But he
at
only
100
wants 2 more.
That's an old man joke. Okay, so when I hit 100 subs, I'm going to do 2 game giveaways. I just, when the thank you video comes out, just comment on it, and I will pick 2 lucky winners. As long as you are subscribed to my channel, you will definitely be able to be a part of that drawing. And next week is D23. So if you are a big Disney fan, if you're a big Marvel fan, or if you like Fox or whatever the hell brands that Disney owns nowadays, because they might just end up buying WB at some point. If you are interested, there's a showcase next Friday for their Disney Marvel showcase. So you're going to see Disney games, you're going to see Marvel games, you might see Spider-Man 2, you might see something cooking for Black Panther. Who knows what's going to happen next week? But you have that, and then the big reveals of whatever shows are coming out and movies within the next 2 years. So I'll probably be doing a live stream when I come home on Friday. I hope you guys are able to join. And that's about that for me.
And as always, you can find me, K Marvel, Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel87. Please follow the podcast. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch at the Council of Commentary, TikTok at CO Commentary, and at Twitter, and with Twitter at CO Commentary. No, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. TikTok is at Council of Commentary, my bad. And Twitter is at CO Commentary.
Sure.
You can also follow all of us on all of your favorite streaming platforms, some being YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Once again, special start time next week at 7 o'clock. We cannot stretch. Are you frozen or are you just not moving? Oh, okay.
He's doing his best Joe
Just making
Gacy
sure because
impression.
that looked real glitchy for a second.
He's doing his best
Um,
Joe Gacy impression.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, special start time next week at 7 o'clock. We are going to have the All Father, Darius Carter, on our show. We cannot wait. We know y'all can't wait. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. We are your Four Corners of Commentary. And we out. Peace.